How has your view of the GDPR developed over the past year and 1 year before the implementation? Have you seen the progress?
We are 375 days to go, and it's a Copernican revolution. It's something you cannot improvise in 1 year, so it will require a lot of efforts. It has been discussed for years. It is not the ideal reform of my dream, but it's the best we can achieve today, even if we start again the discussion. So what is essential is that now, since there are homeworks for everybody, for national legislators, for the EU legislators to complete the legal framework with other two pieces of legislation for us, regulators, but also for data controllers, that everybody does what should be done.
You mentioned what attitude you're kind of looking for when maybe evaluating how companies and institutions look at the regulation. Maybe what would that attitude be, if you could?
The regulation is quite, let's say, prescriptive and clear on requirements and obligations. Data protection regulators are now highlighting how we read these provisions, and with a view to speak with one voice and to give some guidance. But the novelty in the regulation is around accountability, so going beyond mere compliance. And this means also to make profit of a margin of maneuver you may have as data controllers. The more you are proactive, the more space you may occupy in that, let's say, free zone. And therefore, we should, as data protection regulators, better understand how this margin of maneuver is, let's say, exercised, and we should consider that there is no accountability project for all. Every approach is to be tailored, is to be adjusted to the needs of an organization. It will require a lot of efforts where properly done, so we should understand all this and be able to also realize how company works in practice, how data protection can be embedded. It's not simply verifying if they are in line with the requirements of consent, let's say legal grounds, principles and so forth. It's also a challenge for us.
Could you describe your role in the legislation or in implementation?
Well, I'm a special advisor to the EU legislator, and I advise also the European Commission. I supervise European Union institutions, bodies, offices and agencies. I cooperate with national data protection authorities. I will serve the European Data Protection Board with the relevant secretariat. And we are part of a global networking in terms of international cooperation, not only in terms of enforcement, but also particularly in terms of policy. So all in all, the duties and tasks of an independent data protection authority, but with something more which is related to our, let's say, privileged position as Brussels-based, where we have a chance to have an helicopter view.
Why is it important for a representative or institutions and companies and organizations to come to a conference like this?
I appreciate that companies, increasingly attend conferences like EDPS Euro Forum, which is likely to be a must you cannot miss. It's an opportunity to be updated about ongoing novelties and what others are doing in terms of best practices, and to hear the view of key stakeholders in real time, and therefore make profit of these suggestions. So apart from networking, it's a learning exercise.